Now, if Gate City Billiard goes along with this smoking ban, they say that they will lose over 80% of their customers. Whereas here at Jake's Billiard, they've had to deal with the exact same smoking ban, and they say business is better than ever. Human trafficking is a multi-billion-dollar industry in the United States, and it is the second largest crime committed. North Carolina is no exception to these statistics. This termite right here is just one of many, not only affecting the hills, but all of the tenants in this area. Now, most haven't said much of anything up until now, as they thought it would be a sign of uncleanliness. However, we spoke with someone from Go Past Management who said it's the exact opposite. And this pile of trees to my right, as well as the ones behind me, have all come in since the storm on Sunday. Now, this facility usually sees about 10 truckloads a day. However, since the storm hit on Sunday, they seem well over 100. Slavery still exists, and you may be surprised where it is. A group of panelists have come to UNC Greensboro's Multicultural Resource Center this evening to discuss human trafficking and sex slavery, points of interest, causes, prevention, and the extent at which this has occurred in our community. Just months into the smoking ban, and the match has been lit. But one local business says if they have their way, smoking will be allowed.
Actually, the law excludes private clubs. They also say at the beginning and at the end of that definition that a country club will be defined as a private club. And we renamed ourselves a country club back in August of last year. So our legal name with the state of North Carolina is Gate City Billiards Country Club.
But the health department isn't hearing it. They say it takes more than just a name change to be considered a private club.
Well, the law was not designed for somebody to simply change the name of their establishment to skirt the law. Country clubs still need to meet the stipulations of a private club in order to be exempt from the law.
Now, if Gate City Billiard goes along with this smoking ban, they say that they will lose over 80% of their customers. Whereas here at Jake's Billiard, they've had to deal with the exact same smoking ban, and they say business is better than ever.
We're busier this year compared to this time last year. Really? Our food sales have gotten a lot better because people are being able to eat more often and smell the food instead of smelling cigarettes all the time.
The health department went on to say that this is the first case in the state where a business found in violation has appealed their decision. Gate City Billiards will be meeting next week with the board. However, they still can be fined $200 a day. For Fox 8 News, I'm Bernard Leak. Slavery still exists, and you may be surprised where it is. A group of panelists have come to UNC Greensboro's Multicultural Resource Center this evening to discuss human trafficking and sex slavery, points of interest, causes, prevention, and the extent at which this has occurred in our community.
A lot of times we think that slavery is over, and that's one of the things that we really try to educate people in the community is that slavery is not only still exists, but that there's more slaves now today than ever before in history.
Students came to learn while panelists came ready to tackle the issue of slavery in its various present-day forms. North Carolina is a target state for several reasons. The interstates 95 and 85 are key routes in everyday travel. With our high tourism rate and the strong presence of military bases, the demand for sex is escalated.
North Carolina does have the 5th largest immigrant population in the country, whereas it's 10th in terms of general population. And that's not to say that immigrants cause trafficking, but where there is a large immigrant population, it's often hard to distinguish between immigrants who are living their lives the way they want to be and immigrants who are being held captive.
Human trafficking is a multi-billion-dollar industry in the United States, and it is the second largest crime committed. North Carolina is no exception to these statistics.
If you hear interviews from traffickers or pimps, they'll say that it's not about the sex, it's about the money. So it's a basic economic principle, supply and demand.
Education for possible victims is an essential element panelists emphasized, as many may not know that they are victims. Pamphlets are available in various languages as seen here. The group of panelists are also supporting the screening of Playground, an inside look at the child sex trade in America. The screening will be November 20th at 6:30 p.m. in the Science Building, Room 101. For Spartan TV, I'm Bernard Leak. Termites. First sign of these little pests in this apartment was about 3 weeks ago. The Hill family then contacted their local property manager about the problem. The complex then sent out termite control. Days later, the termites reappeared, and this was their solution.
Maintenance comes out. Okay, but caulking the windows and putting caulk around the door is not getting rid of the bugs. So when they tore the holes in the wall, they said, okay, well, we see a bunch of colonies of bugs. When they did that, then the bugs flew upstairs. And then the neighbors' bugs came out everywhere. They're outside flying around. How do y'all not see these bugs everywhere?
This termite right here is just one of many, not only affecting the hills, but all of the tenants in this area. Now, most haven't said much of anything up until now, as they thought it would be a sign of uncleanliness. However, we spoke with someone from Go Pest Management who said it's the exact opposite.
So the thing with termites is it doesn't matter how clean you are. Termites don't smell your home and gravitate toward it. They actually randomly forage through the soil just underneath the surface looking for wood, and when they find it, they stay there.
Go Forth Pest Management says that the termites are only interested in soil and wood, so there shouldn't be any cause for concerns when it comes to furniture. The swarms that do make it out are only looking for food and usually die out and cause more of a nuisance than anything. But the hills have had enough.
Now this is what my house looked like.
For Fox 8 News, I'm Bernard Leak. For Fox 8 News, I'm Bernard Leak.
You're not on.
No.